Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers telling reporters he will retire after the 2026 NFL season, which will be his 22nd in the league. Thunder seeks to even up the NBA's Western Conference Finals at a game apiece in Game 2 tonight versus the Spurs, 8 Eastern ESPN Radio. After Victor Wembanyama's incredible performance in the Game 1 win, some tweaks for OKC's game plan tonight, notes ESPN NBA reporter Tim McMahon.
Look, they've got to move players. They've got to move their bodies. They've got to move the ball. They've got to make Victor Wembanyama move. Chet Holmgren said the answer is going to be in the movement, because if you just let Wemby plant himself near the paint, he's basically shutting down the floor from the elbows down. You're not going to be able to finish over him.
New Mavericks president Masai Ujiri said removing coach Jason Kidd was a difficult decision and was his alone. Avalanche defenseman Cale Makar out of the NHL's West Final opener versus the Golden Knights due to an upper body injury, 8 Eastern ESPN. Sabres signed coach Lindy Ruff to a 2-year extension. Under Ruff, Buffalo ended a 14-season playoff drought this year.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Thursday after blowing a 22-point fourth-quarter lead. I'll tell you why Game 2 is a must-win for the Cavs. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You serve. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU lives to play another day.
Hump day.
Jared Mitchell from Hoover in 15 minutes.
It's hump day.
Florida and Vandy right now, bottom 7.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Gators lead 5-3.
Hump day.
Might get this one on. I'm not going to say it.
It's hump day.
Not going to say it.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Oh, the hypocrites are out in college basketball.
Hump day.
We'll expose them.
It's hump day.
Review LSU-Auburn with Bryan Matthews, who covers Auburn. That's next hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Ersin Demir is an international basketball draft analyst.
Hump day.
He knows how to pronounce all the names of LSU's commits.
It's hump day.
So we're going to have him on to teach me how to pronounce all their names.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And probably a little bit of a profile on them as basketball players.
Hump day.
All right, we got a lot to do. Let's get rolling here. Lane Kiffin was on Pardon My Take. That we knew that interview was happening. It's dropped. We'll hit the highlights. That's coming up here in a smidge. But let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Will Wade is dominating college basketball headlines, so much so that, check the calendar, it's May the 20th. Lane Kiffin has gone silent for a week, finally emerges on a Barstool platform. The LSU baseball team won a game last night in elimination, fighting for its season. They play again today. And we're leading the show with basketball on May the 20th. Will Wade effect, y'all. Knowing Will Wade for as long as I have, having covered him during his first stint at LSU and now, obviously, again, here, what is undeniable is that Will Wade is college basketball's villain. And he is college basketball's villain that LSU fans love and the rest of the sport loves to hate. And every time something like what's happened here in the last week happens, it only validates that, confirms that, and it exposes incredible hypocrisy in this sport. I want to be very clear about something because we talked about it a day ago. This became a thing with R.J. Lewis. Now, R.J. Lewis, a season ago, 25, was the Big East Player of the Year. Very good player. Forfeited the remainder of his eligibility so as to go pro. He goes undrafted, G League, now wants to come back into college basketball. When the Charles Bediako situation was happening in Alabama, the NCAA released a statement, in part which read, "The NCAA has not and will not grant eligibility to any prospective or returning student athletes who have signed an NBA contract, including a two-way contract." Black and white. R.J. Lewis signed a two-way contract. He done. Cannot come back. I am not in favor of it. Will Wade, Bert Jawsbury, Wade Roos, all of you. I am not in favor of you pursuing any action to bring R.J. Lewis back to LSU. You're wrong in so doing. The same way Alabama was wrong in bringing back Charles Bediako. But here's my problem. Same way Ole Miss was wrong with Chambliss. Same way Tennessee was wrong with Joey Aguilar and everyone else. We need rules. We need rules. Someone's got to govern the sport. We need a commissioner of this. We need rules. Well, you got rules, and you don't want to follow them. That's on you. Now, I have no issue whatsoever with the international players, even older international players, coming to LSU to play. Because that is well within the rules of college basketball. None. I have no issue whatsoever. If those players are, in fact, eligible, deemed eligible by the NCAA, then I have no problem at all with them playing at LSU. I don't care if it's Yamadar, who's 26. I don't care if it's the Crash Davis version of an international player who's 46. If the NCAA says he's eligible, he's eligible. And Will Wade's taking advantage of that. Fine. Here's the hypocrisy that bothers me. There are former European and international professional basketball players littered all throughout college basketball. Andy Katz, before this most recent season, published his top 10 international players in the college game this year. Number 1 was Alex Condon at Florida. He played 2 seasons in the NBL 1 in Australia. That's a professional basketball league. Tomislav Ivicic from Illinois. 5 years of professional basketball in Croatia and Montenegro. Dame Sarr, Duke. 3 years with FC Barcelona in the EuroLeague. Oscar Clough, you want me to go on? Purdue. You want me to keep going? He's 24 years old, former pro from Australia. 20 how old? How old? 20 what? 24. Henri Vassar, he's at North Carolina right now. He's a 22-year-old from Estonia. Vonimir Visic, also at Illinois, by the way. That way, Brad Underwood. No bitching about him, is there? ABA League. He was a pro at the ABA League, then went to Kentucky with Calipari, then went to Arkansas with Cal, and now is at Illinois. Anybody bitching about him? Vonimir Visic? Anybody? Oh, we're good with him because it's Cal or because it's Underwood? We're good with that? Or because it's Duke or North Carolina or Purdue? I keep going. Oh, another Purdue. Omer Meyer. Maccabi Tel Aviv in the EuroLeague, now at Purdue. Weird. Guy was playing professionally overseas, now coming into the college basketball. It's almost like this happens all the time. Oh, because it does. Except now you have uppity jerks like Jeff Goodman who make this insanely personal. Did you hear Jeff Goodman's cute little rant about Will Wade? This was on Tuesday. Give a listen.
Will Wade, I wish you didn't come back to college basketball. Honestly, I mean that. I like Will. I've known Will since he was an assistant at Harvard back in 2007, 2008. But, man, you suck for college basketball right now.
And you're a
Seriously,
hypocrite, a-hole.
You suck for college basketball.
You suck.
Like, you're making it into a mockery. And look in the mirror and understand it's not just about you. This is about more than just you. This is about the sport of college basketball. Have some pride. Have some dignity. Don't try to ruin the sport. The first time was when you hired Slick Rick Stansbury. That was the first time when you got to LSU that you were going to muck it up as much as humanly possible. I know people are trying to push the rules. I get it. Scott Drew did it last year with James Najee. Nate Oates did it with Charles Bediako. But this is ridiculous. First of all, you got a second chance here after being run out of the sport. You were great at McNeese State. And then, you know what? Another high major gave you an opportunity at NC State. And what did you do? You did this after 1 year. You did this after 1 year at NC State, and you said, I'm gone. I'm going back to LSU. And now it's the same shit all over again. Obviously, the rules have changed. We know that. But come on, man. Again, have some pride. Like, have some dignity in your profession.
Cool. So that's Jeff Goodman on the day that R.J. Lewis, who signed a two-way contract to go to the NBA after being at St. John's, commits to LSU. This was a couple of months ago. Same guy, same Jeff Goodman. I checked. Not common name, not a different person who happens to cover college basketball. Same guy, Jeff Goodman, when Charles Bediako was granted an injunction to play for Alabama. This same Jeff Goodman talking about Nate Oates just a couple of months ago.
Jeff, is it true? I read this morning that Nate Oates a week ago was critical of the Najee taking. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think he was. I mean, I saw the quotes. I didn't hear him, but yeah, I did see that. I think here's the deal, guys.
But that makes this way worse.
But everybody can be that way. Everybody can be that way until they have an opportunity.
Well, yeah, because if it self-serves your team and
they're all like
but
that. But everybody's like that, aren't they?
I guess, but I don't know. This is a train wreck, and if this goes, the way that it could, we are screwed.
So to be clear, the same guy who's shooting the bird at Will Wade and calling him bad for the game, wishing he had stayed away, dropping expletives about R.J. Lewis, a couple of months, who says nothing, by the way, about Alex Condon, Tomislav Ivicic, Dame Sar, Oscar Clough, Henri Vassar, Vonimir Ivicic, Omer Meyer. Says nothing about any of these guys. Florida, Illinois, Duke, Purdue, North Carolina. It says nothing about any of them. No issues there. A couple of months ago, Charles Bediako, Nate Oates. Oh, isn't that just what everyone does? Until it's your team, everyone can say that until it's Will Wade, and now you got a strong opinion on it. Freaking hypocrites. That's my problem. You want to know why? Do you want to know why LSU fans line up with swords drawn to defend Will Wade? Because of that, Jeff Goodman. Because of that. Because you are a colossal freaking hypocrite. And it ain't just Jeff Goodman, it's all of them. They turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to Duke and North Carolina and Purdue and Illinois, and back in the Wade FBI deal, it was Sean Miller and it was Bill Self and it was Bruce Pearl, but they had all their lackeys doing their bidding for them. Wade was the one on the wiretap. Clumsy, he deserved to get fired. I've never disputed that. Will was clumsy, careless, doing what everybody else did, but it was his voice on the wiretap. He stepped in it. He got fired. You go 110 on the interstate, you're getting a ticket, you're probably going to jail, okay? Who among us? But the problem is the high and mighty, ridiculous hypocrisy from people like Jeff Goodman, who represent the collective of college basketball, who turn a blind eye to everyone else, but tee off on Will Wade. By the way, Marcio Santos, one of the EuroLeague commits to LSU right now. Remember the story? Hey, who did LSU beat? Whose coach was in Israel the Wednesday before Santos committed to LSU? Who was it? Tell me, Muse or Paul. Who was it? Whose coach was it? You remember?
Kentucky?
Friggin' Mark Pope in Kentucky. So let me get it straight. Mark Pope flies his ass halfway across the world to go recruit this guy. No problem. He commits to Will Wade in LSU, and Will Wade's bad for the game. Frigging hypocrites. That's what chaps every LSU fan's ass when we talk about Will Wade. That's what gets everybody's goat. Because he ain't doing nothing anybody else isn't doing around, but they only have a problem when it's Will Wade. That's the issue. That's the problem. I just read a list from Andy Katz, who's celebrating the top 10 Euros, guys who played professionally coming into the game. Here's the top 10 of them. No issue. Until Will Wade's getting some of them committed. And then it's a problem. And that's my problem. And I'm going to say it again. Under no circumstances should R.J. Lewis be playing at LSU next year. And if LSU supports him going to court, I will sit here and I will tee off on Will Wade and Verge Osbury and Wade Roos and all the leadership at LSU who should put a friggin' stop to that. But if NCAA rules allow you to go sign international players who are eligible under NCAA rules, which all the other major programs are doing, why is it okay for everyone else, but Will Wade's bad for the game when he doesn't? Hypocrites, that is why 5 years ago, 6 years ago, LSU fans lined up in defense of Will Wade, and that's why they're still doing it today. It's after further review.
AFR.
You want to know how I got so much energy? Goodwood. Go get your testosterone shots today, bruh. Go to Goodwood. All right, I'll calm down. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com. Sweating. YourGoodwood.com. Hormone replacement therapy. ED treatments, peptide therapy. Do my peptides every day, man. Well, Monday through Friday. BPC 157, NAD+. NAD+, incredible, literally reverse aging your cells at a cellular. It is making you younger at a cellular level. Incredible energy levels as well with NAD+, as if you couldn't tell from the open. BPC 157, incredible for muscle and tissue repair. Got an injury? Boom, BPC 157. Have surgery? Inject BPC 157 at the site of your injury, your surgery, whatever. It will accelerate recovery. Learn more. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month. with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got lucky.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Tigers live to play another day. They beat Oklahoma 6-2. It'll be LSU and Auburn tonight. Our buddy Jared Mitchell is SEC Network, of course, is at the SEC tournament, where as we speak, Florida polishing off Vandy at 7-3 there in the 8th. Jay Mitch, what up, man?
How we doing? What's going on this afternoon?
Doing awesome, man. Reaction to the LSU win over Oklahoma, what stood out?
I mean, I don't think we need to go any further than what you saw pitching-wise, right? It's been a year, if you want to call it that, on the mound. Not what we've been accustomed to see, I guess, over the past few years. But they stood up. They did a heck of a job. I'd say last night, only 3 walks. They did a good job of limiting base runners, obviously only giving up 2 runs. I thought it was an incredible pitching performance, and not only just in totality, but also having to pivot at the last minute with William Schmidt being out and not being able to use him, and then now you have to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? They were incredible last night, and I think they were what powered them to a win.
Yeah, Jay Mitchell, I know you follow this team closely in spite of obviously covering the whole conference, so you understand the significance of Schmidt not pitching. If he's not available for the rest of the tournament, what does that mean for LSU?
I mean, it's a big loss, right? You haven't had much stability, if you will, in the rotation. He's been the one guy that has pretty much made a start all year. You were not expecting that, and for a team that's coming into this tournament, which is already a tough, long-standing tournament for you to win if you're not one of those teams with a bye or a double bye, which means you're going to be playing probably, I think, 5 games, to win it all.
Yeah.
It makes it already tough to go into a week like that without having somebody that you've been able to count on to give you quality innings and give you length in the rotation. So winning this tournament, and obviously LSU came in there understanding that they need to win the tournament to continue to go on with the season. So not having him at all this tournament would be a big blow to it, and we'll see if that actually ends up being the case.
What about Cerna? Looks like he might be done for the tournament as well.
And same thing as well, man, and that's kind of been the injury bug that has hit them a lot this year, right? You don't have Cooper Moore. You don't have Cerna right now. You don't have William Smith. You lost Casey Evans for a while. You lost Jake Brown. There's been a lot of things going on with the team in terms of injury, but, at the end of the day, you still have to play the games. You still have to go out there and do the thing. So without those guys will be a big blow. But listen, this is a very talented ball club coming in. You don't want to be losing guys that you're counting a lot on, but that just means other guys got to step up, and that's where they're going to be sitting.
Jared Mitchell's with us. I want to talk about the game tonight against Auburn in a sec, Jay Mitch, but it's interesting. This team 9-21 in the league. We all know that by now, but you just detailed all the injuries, right? Which is an undeniable part of this season for LSU. How much of being 9-21 do you attribute to the injury bug? Cooper Moore misses 8 starts in conference play. Casey Evans misses a month. Jake Brown, Stanfield missed half the season, all that stuff. And how much of it is misevaluation, guys not developing, stepping up? Like, how do you balance the impact the injuries had?
I think the one impact that probably a lot of people wouldn't say, just because we had not seen him much or known much of him in purple and gold, is the Cooper Moore one, right? Like, you lose a weekend starter, that hurts a lot. And to not have someone to basically come in and be able to fill that, and let's tell the truth of it. Look, at the end of the day, one of the most talented guys walking around in the Tiger uniform is Casey Evans. I think we can all agree with that. But what we thought and what we hoped would turn into a premier frontline Friday night starter, numbers-wise, it just hasn't been all of that yet. Do I think he's someone that could put it all together and figure it out, whether it's, if he's back next year and how he chooses to go about things? Yeah, of course. But we're just going to talk about this year. We were hoping that he would get to a better spot, and I think he would also tell you the same thing as well. So when that hasn't been that, like what we got a chance to see last year in two guys take rotation spots for the first time in a Tiger uniform in Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson, we were hoping we were duplicating that this year with Case and Evans and William Schmidt. It hasn't been quite that. So when you don't have quite that and then you lose another starter out of it, that hurts a ton. I think you could talk about the stuff in the lineup, but let's be honest, at the end of the day, when you're giving away free passes the way this pitching staff has this year, it makes it hard to beat anybody. It makes it hard to score a lot of runs when you're watching ball after ball and some not so competitive pitches. So I think what the woes on the pitching staff this year, to me, have been far more indicative to the season in the record than it has even been the lineup and what may have or may not have happened in the lineup.
Jared Mitchell is our guest, former Tiger great, of course, SEC Network, getting him mic'd up with Mikey and Jay Mitch as well. So it's LSU and Auburn, the last game tonight, Jay Mitch. Jake Marciano is going to get the ball for Auburn. Look, the numbers are sterling. From a hitter's perspective, tell me what you see from the sophomore lefty.
I mean, he's not somebody that blows you away with stuff. He doesn't have a high velo. He's kind of, if you want to call it, in what today's pitching is, kind of untraditional, right? Like, that's not what you usually get. You usually get a lot of guys that's up there blowing 95, 96, or north of that with these hard pitches. Like, he doesn't have that. But what he does do is he commands the ball very well. He will use his off speed. He will use all four quadrants of the strike zone, and he does those things well. So I think dealing with him and dealing with something that you're not truly used to seeing this year becomes a different task for hitters these days. And I think understanding how to let the ball travel, how to use the other side of the field, which sometimes in today's game is kind of a little bit of a lost art. I think understanding that and doing that is where this team needs to kind of focus and not really worry about using a long ball. Look, it's funny too, because I got a chance to play in this ballpark when it was a minor league stadium as well. And although the fences have come in, what I saw last night was I remember the days when it was, daytime, you had a chance to get balls out of here pretty regularly. Like it was okay. But once you saw the dew on the grass, you understood how heavy the air was, and you understood that balls don't fly. So when you're sitting here talking about somebody who's not going to throw real hard, who's not going to supply the power, you have to be real conscious of trying to drive the ball down and through gaps as opposed to over the wall. So keeping the ball down, I would assume again tonight, should be at a premium, should be at one of the top of the things that they're trying to do as an offense to score runs on this Auburn pitching staff. Great perspective as always. Jared Mitchell is our guest. Who do you think, considering they're facing the lefty, best case, or who would you like to see Jay replace Cerna with in the lineup? In the lineup, that's going to be a tough one. Once again, you're going to face a lefty, so I think it's probably best to get a righty. So if you have to go Simpson, I think Simpson, or I think that could probably work best. But the thing about it is if you're getting to him, how far are you going to go, and how are you going to switch with him? So I think you may only, if you get to Marciano, I don't know that he stays in there super long. Right, and then at that point, how are you going to keep matching up with the rest of their pitching staff and how they throw things at you out the pen? Yeah. LSU and Auburn will be game 4 tonight. Anybody else so far through a day and a half really catch your eye? Other teams you talking about? Yeah, other teams, yeah. Yeah, man, I was actually really surprised with what Missouri was able to do. If you told me 18 runs were going to get scored in game 1 to start the tournament with Missouri playing it, I would have never told you it was Missouri scoring 10 of it and being on the victor side of that. But more so than teams, the ABS system and how it's been used so far in the tournament has been kind of intriguing. There's been some big calls, some things that have swung innings, things that have swung outs, and then now all of a sudden runs are scored after it. And it's been kind of cool to see that, but also understanding that, like, that zone's a little bit bigger than what people probably think it is. So how it's been used by the players has been kind of cool to see. Florida leading Vandy right now. Home run there for the Gators. They're pulling away. Looks like Florida will beat Vandy here. And Tennessee and Arkansas up next for the Tigers against the Tigers tonight. Jared Mitchell, SEC Network's there in Hoover. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us. Always appreciate it, Jay Mitch. Thank you. Of course, man. No problem. Y'all have a good one. You do the same.
After further review, brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. I can hear it right now, man. It's raining outside. Look, we got storm season right around the bend. You want to add an extra layer of security to your home? Those Storm Force impact-resistant windows from Relief Windows are an awesome option, y'all. You might have seen over the years the commercials of Brandon Holly like hitting the window with a crowbar and not breaking through that glass. Those are the impact-resistant windows. So think about it. They're Cat 5 approved in Miami-Dade County. So you think about flying debris during a storm, you don't break through the windows, extra layer of security. Also, against potential intruders, an extra layer of security for your home. But also, they're energy efficient. Lower your energy bills. Increase your home's resale value. Lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. Eric and I had these windows installed at our home 10 years ago when we moved in. I'm telling you, they still look beautiful, and we have that comfort knowing it's increased our home's resale value, it's lowered our energy bills, and we've got Relief Windows if we ever have an issue, which a decade later, we've not had a single issue. Imagine that. Do it right the first time. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, y'all, thanks for hanging out with us here. Bryan Matthews will be here in 45 minutes. He covers Auburn, so we'll get the Auburn perspective of tonight's ball game with LSU and Auburn. Auburn's an interesting team in this series, in this tournament, because they're sitting there third nationally in the RPI. They had 17 wins in conference play. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Auburn be in the mix for a national seed if they're maybe able to beat LSU, beat A&M tomorrow. You'd be talking about a team that could play themselves into the weekend and potentially into a top 8 national seed. So a lot on the line for Auburn in this weekend in Hoover. So LSU against Auburn tonight, 8 o'clock scheduled first pitch. Knock on for Michael. Let's hope they stay on time. Going past midnight last night was not fun. What it is, I'll take it. Tigers keep playing. All right, let me not got a break. Y'all go around the SEC, and another New Orleans team is heading over the pond. Tell you about it. It's AFR.
AFR.
DuplessisPools.com. Thinking about building your own pool? DuplessisPools.com. Thinking about building that outdoor kitchen? DuplessisPools.com. Maybe a cabana at your home? DuplessisPools.com. Maybe you want a beautiful accent like a putting green in your outdoor space. DuplessisPools.com. My buddy Derek Duplessis and his team, they do beautiful work. They're going to take the time to do it right and build you something beautiful that will last. Go to DuplessisPools.com. DuplessisPools.com. That's the website. You can start there. You can design your pool, design your outdoor kitchen. You can look at financing options. Easy to use right there on the website at DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. And remember also, you're dealing with one of the best, not just locally, but nationally. Pool and Spa Magazine named Duplessis Pools a top 50 pool builder in America, number 26 in the country. You want the best? You want Duplessis Pools. DuplessisPools.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Well, the NFL schedule release was last week. We learned that the New Orleans Saints are headed to Paris to play the Pittsburgh Steelers in a game in late October. It'll be the Saints and the Steelers game in Paris. Saints and Steelers. There. Thank you. Ha ha. Italy show. Eating a croissant. Is it getting better?
That was good. Yeah, the croissant was good. Croissant.
Croissant. Ha ha.
Oui, oui.
Smoking a cigarette and looking for Pepe Le Pew.
That's what they do over there.
Football.
Easy baguette.
Is it? Hey!
Easy baguette.
Is it baguette? Ah! I think I just blended Italian and French right there.
Cigarette in Boré.
Ibiare.
That's it.
Biare. Well, we've now learned that the other New Orleans team is also going to Paris. Did you hear about this?
What we got?
Well, this is the good thing. Remember, last week I had to ask how to pronounce the stadium in France that the Saints are going to play. And Paul, by the way, your French in high school, you completely failed. It's Stade. Like, you were totally wrong. Whatever. You said like Stade or something. You were wrong. You added a syllable. What do you have to say for yourself?
That was about 20 years ago, so yeah. I'm a little rusty.
Clearly, Central schools, not good. Take that, Central. Terrible schools. Didn't teach Paul a thing. I speak better French than Paul. Let me hear you do that, Paul. Yeah, mine's better.
I don't know.
Way
that
better.
That was strong from Paul.
January 14th, Accor Arena. I can spell ACCOR. I can pronounce that. Accor, maybe it's Accor.
I was about to say there's probably some French.
I don't think it's French. I don't think it's a French now. ACCOR. Anyway, but it doesn't stop there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. After they leave Paris, playing on Jan 14, they're going to hop a flight or maybe a train, I don't know, over to the home of the Manx. Muse, if you're not a Mank, you're a wank.
Okay. I'm neither of those things.
You wanker?
You bloody wanker.
Saw that on Euro Trip 20 years ago. Crank that up. The Pels are going to Manchester, England. So they're going to play in Paris. Yeah! This almost makes me want to be British. I said almost.
It does not.
I said
it does
almost.
not.
I said almost.
No.
That's a kick-ass song, man.
It's not
Nobody
that
can
good.
sing our national anthem. I know this is not their national anthem. I know Rule Britannia is not their national anthem. Okay, it's God Save the Queen. I know. I'm just saying, I think people mumble through the Star Spangled Banner because it's so hard to sing. Rule Britannia is just like, get into your innards and your gut and just yell, Rule Britannia. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, yeah, but you don't actually want to be British.
Shut up. I said almost.
Just because the song's
I said
good.
almost. I said Joe Montana. So they're going to go to Manchester, Manchester United.
Glory, glory.
United. That's pretty good. I need to get Luke on the show.
There you go.
I need Luke from the Londoner. Oh, my God. So excited about
That's
this.
what we should have done for this.
I'll tell you what. It's not too late. Crank that up! Almost, Muse. Almost makes me want to be British.
I don't believe you.
I didn't say I want to be British. I said almost.
I don't think you almost
Just
do.
for this song. Look, the food stinks.
It's horrible.
The weather's awful.
Bad.
They got bad teeth.
Yes.
There's nothing about it that I want. We whipped their ass. We were farmers with pitchforks, and we whipped the greatest army in the world. I don't want to be one of them. I said this song almost makes me want to be one of them.
Man.
We threw their tea in the harbor.
It's true, that happened.
Screw your tea.
Yep, the Boston Tea Party.
And your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Beatles, though.
Beatles are good, man.
I like the Beatles.
They gave good music. The British gave good music to the
Love
world.
Zepp. Try and get and Rule Britannia.
That's what.
See? I told ya. Yeah. The British invasion. The Who.
The Who.
Zeppelin.
Yeah.
The Beatles. Spice Girls. Oh, man, and they can drink some beer, too. That's good. Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, you wanted it again?
No, I don't want it again. We need to go. That was good. Like, you got to learn. Get out on the punchline. Spice Girls was the punchline. We were done. Almost! Tell me that's not a badass song. That song, objectively, is a more fire you up song than the Star Spangled Banner.
Sure, fire you up song. Absolutely.
That's my point.
100%.
That's all I'm saying. People go to games and they mumble the Star Spangled Banner because nobody can. And the rock is ring I love it. My national anthem. It's really hard to sing.
It's a banger, though.
It's a really.
Yeah, it
I
is.
need to get a vocalist on the show to explain. That is a really hard song to sing. Rule Britannia? Just yell. Just yell. And Rule Britannia way better than God Save the Queen.
That's not even a conversation.
I don't even know what Rule Britannia is. Is that like their version of Lee Greenwood? God bless you. Is Rule?
Yeah, okay, you talking about look, love the song, man, but
From the lakes of Minnesota.
Oh man.
Hills of Tennessee. Across the plains of Texas. See the shining sea.
So, Rule Britannia
Yep.
is a famous British patriotic song originally written from a 1740 patriotic poem by James Thompson.
Fam, their patriotic song's older than our country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. And that Princess Kate. How do you not love her? She's a doll. She's beautiful. She's classy, erudite. You know what I mean? Saw a video of her walking down the steps of a plane. She walked backwards because she's a classy lady.
She walked backwards?
Backwards down the steps. so you don't trip or fall. It's an extra level of care.
Okay.
Wind blowing up a dress or something like that.
I figured you'd have a greater chance of falling walking backwards. How do you see where you're going?
No. Like, think about if you're walking down. Think about if you're on a roof and you're coming down a ladder.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Would you be better facing out or facing back?
Yeah, facing back.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
Okay, yeah.
Stick with me, Muse. I'll learn you some stuff. Like how awesome Rule Britannia is.
Rule Britannia.
Let's go around the SEC. Hurry up, dude.
Around the
It's a good song.
SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Missouri Tigers.
This is awesome. Ahmad Hardy's back in Columbia. So he's out of the hospital, back in Columbia, started rehab. He was shot in the leg on May the 10th. Was awesome last year. Led the SEC in rushing with nearly 1,700 yards. Beginning rehab for 2026. Looked like he's on his road to recovery. Great news.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy landed JUCO edge Miles Miller from Northwest Mississippi. 6'2", 262. Muse, thanks for putting his name on here this time. It's easier to talk about a commitment when we know the commit's name.
I got your back.
Yeah, thank you. Well, not always, because you clearly didn't.
Today I did.
He chose Vandy over other Power 4 offers from the Big 12 and the ACC.
Texas A&M!
Aggies have lost right-handed pitcher Aiden Sims for the SEC tournament. Michael Early confirmed the news. Tex Ags had it first. Sims 8-1 on the season, a 3.84 ERA. Struck out 73 with 19 walks.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And Kentucky announced cancellation of their future series with Gonzaga. It was a 6-game series with the Wildcats and the Zags. So Gonzaga moving into the Pac-12 creates some scheduling conflicts. So the series will come to an end now at 4 games, too short of the initially pitched 6. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Man, I had an awesome lunch on Monday this week. My buddy Martin over at Shawbills. Awesome people. I've told you about, man, I've been able to talk about Shawbills and be partnered with them for more than a decade now. And the thing they pride themselves on is treating you awesome. It's so interesting. Like, every time you have service done or you buy tires at Shawbills, you're always going to get a sort of a performance review, an email, a text, whatever. And if they ever get a negative comment about anything, their pledge is within 2 hours, someone from Shawbills is going to respond to you. And it was interesting because he's telling me, like, people a lot of times are surprised. Like, oh, I didn't think it. You just think you're submitting something to some nameless, faceless entity. No, at Shawbills, like, they are going to be in touch with you to make it right. I tell you, man, they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. They keep you coming back. So they treat you like family. It's what Mr. Charlie insisted in 1968 when he opened the doors, and it's what Miss Beth, his daughter, who runs the business today, carries on through every person in the organization. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. All right, it's a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Let me knock out a quick break. The Big Ten meetings continuing. Tony Petitti speaking openly about why he wants 24, but more so why he doesn't want a 16-team playoff. We're going to get into that. It's AFR.
After further review.
Man, you ever at your house and you're just super frustrated by how slow your internet is? Ever at your office and super frustrated by how slow your internet is or how often it goes out? And then you're even more frustrated because when you try to call your internet service provider, you can't get them on the phone, or you're ushered off to a call center overseas. Maybe you struggle to communicate with the person on the other end of the phone. You wait on hold for hours. You ever been through that? Yeah. You ever get really frustrated when the wind blows, storm comes in like happens here in the spring and the summer, and power goes out, you lose cable, you lose internet, lose phone? You ever get frustrated with that? Probably. I don't anymore. I switched to Rev. RevFiber.com. Lightning fast speeds, up to 5 gigs, 90-year-old company, local service, local call center, all fiber network. Cables are buried. RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic buttered spread, grilled to golden perfection, and made to order just for you. Because when you make it
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Big Ten meetings are going on out in California. Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner, drew a pretty clear line in the sand. Not only is he stumping for 24, he is very clear and said, quote, "We have had zero conversations about 16, meaning 16 teams, which is what Sankey's stumping for. He went on to say, Plan B is what we have now. We would stay with what we have now." He's effectively saying, we're either going to 24 or we're staying at 12. Ain't nobody going to 16. I mean, that is a hard, closed fist, straight jab into Greg Sankey's nose. Now, Greg Sankey is going to have his turn at the SEC spring meetings next week, but you are seeing all of the other power leagues line up in support of Petitti, but no change happens without agreement between the SEC and the Big Ten. And I know a lot of people here ain't going to like me saying it, but Petitti's argument for 24 makes sense, and so does his argument against 16. It's not just competition. Look, Petitti's background's in baseball, and his point is he can't understand why you wouldn't want to keep more fan bases engaged longer, which is objectively true. But he also talked about if you go to 16, nobody would have a bye, which you may be okay with that, but the problem is you go to 16, no buys, you eliminate conference championship weekend, the math doesn't work because you're eliminating some $200 million in revenues from the conference championship weekend, and you're not offsetting it by replacing it with enough inventory in the playoff. So the math doesn't make sense either. Like, I know everyone here wants to believe the SEC is right and the SEC is the big dog on the block and all that stuff. The Big Ten right now is outpacing the SEC. And look, a big part of it, too, is scheduling. The SEC just went to a 9-game league schedule, and you have your Power 4 non-conference prerequisite. So the SEC is going to be playing 10 Power 4 games. The Big Ten's playing 9. They got their 9-game league schedule, but every team's non-conference schedule, by and large, It's a joke. So you wonder why the Big Ten keeps winning championships and the SEC hasn't even been in the championship game in the last 3 years? That's a big part why. So I know we're going to talk about this more in more detail. Y'all know where I stand. I'm pro 24 team playoff. And I'm very much in favor of it. I want my 24 ticker, by the way, too. I'm very much in favor of 24. The more you work through it logically, it keeps making more sense. And my hope is Greg Sankey and the SEC get on board, because I don't want to keep perpetuating this nonsense at 12. All right, it's after further review. Brought to you by Goodwood. We'll knock out our final break here of hour number 1. Hour 2 next after SportsCenter.
After further review.
Pretty excited, man. I was chatting with my buddy Ben Sanders over at First South Farm Credit earlier today. We're going to go have lunch next week. Always love catching up, see what's going on, what's new over at First South Farm Credit. You're talking about a company that's more than 100 years old, right? They opened their doors back in 1916. So 110 years of doing one thing, helping Louisianians buy land. When you've done one thing for a century and a decade, you're probably pretty good at it. Stands to reason, right? Well, that's First South Farm Credit. But they keep innovating. I tell you about the patronage refund all the time, right? So as a member-owned cooperative, they share with their member borrowers in the profits. So every year, their members get a patronage refund. You can get a direct deposit if you want, whatever. But the point is, this year was over $23 million that they shared with their borrowers. So it effectively lowers your cost of borrowing. If it's that recreational property, if it's agriculture, it's First South Farm Credit.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Christine Lisi. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers told reporters he'll retire after the 2026 NFL season. It will be the 42-year-old's 22nd season in the league. 2 days after an NBA playoff debut for the ages, Victor Wembanyama leads the Spurs against the Thunder in Game 2 of the West Finals tonight, 8 Eastern, ESPN Radio. To keep Wemby from another Superman-like performance, OKC's got to put a big man on him, advises NBA champion Brendan Haywood.
Chet got to go guard. Chet got to come out and play. Chet, listen, you're an all-defensive player. You're a young guy in this league. You got to go get that smoke. We ain't saying you're going to stop Wemby, but the first thing I would do if I'm OKC is I got to put a big body on dude and help from another area.
Brendan Haywood on Freddie and Harry. Chet would be 7'1" OKC center Chet Holmgren. Thunder is down 1-0 in that series. New Mavericks president Masai Ujiri said removing coach Jason Kidd was a difficult decision and was his alone. Avalanche defenseman Cale Makar, dealing with multiple injuries, will miss the NHL's West Final opener versus the Golden Knights tonight, 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Thursday after blowing a 22-point fourth quarter lead. I'll tell you why Game 2 is a must-win for the Cavs. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Bryan Matthews will join us in about 13 minutes. He covers Auburn. Game 2 at the SEC tournament is in the books. Florida beats Vanderbilt. So, y'all, knock on wood, they are running on time right now.
Don't do this.
They're running on time?
Don't do this.
It's an
Don't do
objective
it.
fact.
Don't do it.
It's an objective fact, like how Rule Britannia almost makes me want to be a Brit.
Friggin' Rule
I
Britannia.
said almost.
Oh, man.
It's a great song. Jam. All right, we'll keep you posted. We'll preview LSU and Auburn coming up here in about a dozen minutes. Oh, by the way, in hour 3, Ersin Demir. You probably have never heard that name. That's fine. And I've searched high and low to find people who study international basketball for the draft, to get someone on the show who can tell me anything about all these international guys that LSU is getting committed. So Ersin Demir is going to join us in 90 minutes. Last week, NFL released the schedule. One of the major contentions from a Saints perspective is they can break their 5-year playoff-less drought this season because you got the second easiest schedule in the NFL, according to opponents' win-loss percentage from a year ago, and your division isn't very good. So you may not be awesome, but you might be good enough in a bad division against a manageable schedule. Basically, you might be the tallest short kid. With the full schedule release, odds makers have put out the lines, the early lines for every NFL game. And we have this up at LouisianaSports.net, by the way, if you want to see it. It's by division, and you could look at the point spread for every game in the NFL this year. A few notes. I'm going to go through the Saints in a second. A few notes from the NFC South. The odds makers are not very keen on the Panthers. Panthers, remember, won the division a year ago, but playing a first-place schedule should absolutely expose Carolina this year. They're a favorite in 3 games. Carolina, your defending division champ, is favored in 3 of 17 games. And this is by far the worst division in the NFL as far as how they project against in non-division games. The entire NFC South are underdogs in 37 of the 44 non-divisional games. That's 84.1%. The entire division, Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, Saints, collectively are underdogs in 84% of the games against other divisions. The entire division are underdogs in 19 of 20 road games. By the way, the only team favored in a non-division road game is Carolina is favored in week 3 when they go to Cleveland. That's it. Every other time an NFC South team goes away from home to play a non-division game, they're an underdog, which kind of leads you to where the Saints are. I was a little surprised, candidly, to see this because the Saints win total, the projected over-under, is 7.5 for New Orleans. And I kind of like the over. Maybe famous last words. I get it. And there's a lot of questions about the Saints. You still have a young, inexperienced quarterback who's only started 9 games. Although they were good at the end of the year, it was against lesser competition. You're replacing a lot of veteran talent, certainly on the defensive side of the ball. Demario Davis out. You got questions. Are you settled at corner? Can you be any better on the interior of your defensive line? Have you really fixed your offensive line? What do you do at running back? You brought in H.N., but is he going to catch fire? I mean, there's a lot of questions. A lot of hope, but a lot of questions. So New Orleans is favored in just 5 games. Despite being they're over under 7.5, they're favored just 5 times. New Orleans is favored at home against the Raiders in week 3, at home against the Falcons in week 4. They're favored at home against Cleveland in week 9. A week later at home against Carolina in week 10. And then they're favored at home against Arizona in week 16. Every other game, New Orleans is an underdog. Candidly, the ones that surprise me the most, weeks 5 and 6 throw me off a little bit here. New Orleans is a home underdog against the Vikings. Now, 2 years ago, the Vikings were awesome, and we know what happened. Sam Darnold goes to Seattle, wins a Super Bowl. J.J. McCarthy steps in year 2, first year as a starter, and the Vikings miss the playoffs. That game's in New Orleans, and there are real questions about Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy. I like New Orleans at home. Now, it's just 1.5. But if you get 3 points, or maybe in the NFL it's 2 for home field advantage, that feels significant that Minnesota is a favorite in the Dome. And then a week later, the Saints go to the Giants. Now, I have a ton of respect for John Harbaugh as a head coach. The Saints beat Jackson Dart last year in the Superdome. They'll go to New York in week 6, and I'm not so sure that the Giants are going to be decidedly better. But the Giants are a 2.5-point favorite over New Orleans in MetLife in week 6. Those two are the ones that really grabbed me like, man, I am surprised. Now, there's some that it's no surprise. The Saints are a 7-point dog in week 1 at Detroit. The biggest number, the Saints are an underdog is week 2 at Baltimore, where it's 7.5. So they're a 7-point dog week 1, 7.5 week 2. You look at some of the others. The stretch that's the toughest is the one we've talked about. 6.5-point dog week 11 at Chicago, 6.5-point dog week 12 at Cincinnati, 4.5-point home dog against Green Bay in week 13, and then their 2.5-point dog at Carolina, then 3.5-point dog at Tampa. That stretch, week 11 to 15, is the toughest stretch of this. You have a brutal start, right, at Detroit, at Baltimore. But the toughest stretch of the year is week 11 to 15. At Chicago, at Cincinnati, home against the Packers, at Panthers, at Bucks. That 5 game, 4 of 5 on the road, and you're an underdog in all 5. That's the brutal stretch that will sort of, I think, make or break whatever New Orleans is playing for over a manageable final 3 games, where you're home against the Cardinals, at the Falcons, home against the Bucks. So you got to make hay early. You're going to lose those first two very likely against Detroit and Baltimore. But after that, you have a manageable stretch. Raiders, Falcons, Vikings, at Giants, then Steelers in Paris. That's where you have to make your run. And then after your bye, you get Cleveland, Carolina. You got to make your run in that stretch because you know it's going to be brutal, week 11 to 15. And so it'll set up whatever you might be playing for in those final 3 weeks. Saints are favored 5 times, as we mentioned. They're an underdog every week from 11 to 15. Biggest they're a favorite is the 5.5 points at home against the Cardinals in week 16. And the biggest they're an underdog, as we mentioned, is week 2 when they're a 7.5-point dog at Baltimore. Tyler Shuck, it's going to be a massive year for Shuck, and whatever the Saints might achieve, they'll do in large part based on whatever Tyler Shuck might be able to progress year 1 to 2. And when he met with reporters Monday at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament, he talked about how different this offseason is as the starter, whereas last year he was coming in as a rookie.
Yeah, I think it's just so much more comfortability. You're going into Kellen's offense year 2. We're being able to kind of really focus on what we want to focus on. The sense of urgency, I think, is the biggest thing that I've been focusing on, and for the whole unit. And then also just, I think everybody is just, we're having fun. We're having fun putting in the work, and we're really close. And I think that's the best part about it.
Then the other thing is obviously him working this offseason with Kellen Moore as the starter. So he was asked about from February, right, season-ending Super Bowl also ends, to now working with Kellen Moore.
I think it's really sit down and kind of evaluate the film from last year and kind of tweak what we may call certain things, and then also kind of tailor it to, how we're trying to attack defenses this year. And so that was really cool to see throughout this install process and OTAs and phase 2 is I think there was a self-evaluation from my part on what I can work on footwork-wise and setting the pocket, and then also for offensively and how we can kind of get better there.
A lot of optimism, but still a lot to prove year 2 with Tyler Shuck. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, 9 locations, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com, lmfj.com. They have trades and returns as well. One thing we should mention, you can always go buy a beautiful new piece of jewelry. But maybe you bought that engagement ring when you were maybe young and maybe not quite as far along in your career, and now you're at a point, you got a special anniversary coming up, maybe 10 years, 25 years, whatever it may be. Maybe you want to trade in that old diamond and upgrade for a new diamond. You could do that at Lee Michaels, and they always accept exchanges as well. If you buy something for her and she doesn't love it, bring it back. They'll take it back. Like, they want her to be thrilled. You're buying a beautiful piece of jewelry. It's an expression of your love that should be passed through generations of your family. They want her to be thrilled. So have an exceptional customer service experience and thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let's head out to Hoover. Bryan Matthews covers Auburn. He'll be with us when we come back so we can talk a little bit about LSU against Auburn. What's at stake tonight for the Auburn Tigers? We'll get to it next on AFR.
AFR.
How many companies encourage you to read their Google reviews? No, really, please, go read what other people are saying about us. Well, at River City's 1 Hour Air, it's a core part of their business. They want you to go read their Google reviews. Because at River City's 1 Hour Air, they have more than double the amount of 5-star Google reviews of their next closest competitor. Because for 40 years, they've done great work at a fair price with expertly trained technicians, and they treat you right. Here's one from Doris Wright, who said, J.J. Mathern, technician, J.J. Mathern did maintenance on my AC. He was very nice. He explained everything to me. Mr. Mathern wore covers on his shoes so he wouldn't mess up my floor. They all do that, by the way. He said, and it had just rained. I was very pleased with him. That's just another thing that they do, always, to make sure they go the extra mile. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Lockmeyer, Deshaun Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them.
When was the last time you shopped your auto insurance? If you can't remember, it's time. Insurance Network can shop for you for free to find you better coverage for less money. I'm going to give you the number here in just a second. I was talking to Adam and Jay, my buddies over at Insurance Network of Louisiana, earlier today. They said right now, roughly 75% of people that call to have them shop their insurance end up switching. 3 out of 4. What that tells you is overwhelmingly, you are overpaying for your auto insurance. So you want better coverage with an A-rated carrier for less money? You need to shop. Insurance Network of Louisiana, 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. Jay told me one client last week, they saved him $2,911 annually. $2,900 annually. Better coverage, less money. Let them shop for free. 293-0450, 293-0450.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm excited. Our team meeting today was review of the last series, of course, to try to learn some little things to help keep growing. But really this week is the first week of us trying to get an opportunity to win a championship. So we'll put our best foot forward to try to do everything we can to win game one. And, we'd love to stick around for 4 games and try to make a run at this. And our program has not won this tournament since 1998. So we would definitely made a commitment today that we'd all be all hands on deck and play this like you're pursuing a championship.
No ambiguity there. It's Auburn coach Butch Thompson. Tigers have really a lot on the line this week in Hoover. It's LSU and Auburn tonight. 8 o'clock scheduled first pitch. Bryan Matthews from Rivals, good enough to join us here on threes. He covers the Auburn Tigers. Hey, Bryan, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm in Hoover right now up in the right field press box, Tennessee, and the Mississippi State are playing. I think they're about to get underway here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're looking at it here in studio, and State won earlier today. It's Tennessee.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Arkansas,
fine. Tennessee and Arkansas are going to play Game 3, and then LSU and Auburn will follow that.
Yeah.
We heard the bite from Butch Thompson coming in there. What is Auburn playing for this weekend?
I think they want to win this championship. It's 98, as you mentioned in that split he played, which is a long time. This tournament brings out a lot of Auburn fans, right? Because it's right here in Birmingham, and it's really been a string of disappointing appearances. From last time they made the final, I think the best finish they've had since '98 was 2003 when they finished third place. So they've had a hard time even making the semifinals. So most of the time it's one win or no wins, and they're home before the weekend. And I just feel like this team has more pitching depth, more pitching talent, which gives them a chance to win 4 games here in Hoover.
Why have they struggled in the tournament?
Well, I think a part of the problem has been a lack of pitching depth, and I think the other thing is they're just great teams this season. I mean, LSU just about every year, right? Tennessee for a good stretch there. I know Alabama's won a couple of times since then. You know, the SEC's just loaded. It's like Auburn finished sixth in the SEC, but they're picked to be a top 5 or 6 national seed. So that's just the way it's gone. But I don't know why Auburn hasn't played better or hasn't made a run, in almost 30 years. It's kind of surprising, to be honest.
Hey, Bryan, is the feeling there that Auburn has a top 8 national seed locked up, or do they need to maybe win a game or two in Hoover to solidify that?
My feeling is yes, because I always think that SEC basketball or baseball tournaments are really overrated as far as, determining a national seed or changing things around unless, you're a team that, makes that run to the championship game or something and needs to, boost your standing a little bit there. But I'm not sure this affects Auburn very much either way. I think they're really just playing for a championship here in Hoover. They were at the exact same position a year ago, number 1 strength of schedule, number 3 RPI, 6 in the conference, and they ended up with the number 4 national seed.
Bryan Matthews is with us from On3, covers Auburn. He's at BMattAU if you want to go give him a follow there. All right, let's talk about this game tonight. We know that Marciano is going to get the ball. Jake Marciano is going to get the ball for Auburn. How deep into the game do we expect Butch Thompson might let him extend?
Well, he's on 6 days rest, and he's used to 7. But on the other hand, once he pitches tonight, he doesn't go until probably Friday in the region. So I think they'll be willing to let him go 5 to 6 innings, getting close to that 100-pitch mark, potentially as long as he, is feeling good and, they're not worried about him. There is the addition of the added heat and humidity. It's been a really mild spring so far in Alabama, and this is really the first week we've had this. So I think that could have an effect on Marciano and some of the players and pitchers out here just getting used to that.
Bryan, is there anything going on with that of note with the bullpen or names that LSU fans should know going into the game tonight, considering these two teams didn't play in the regular season?
Yeah, that's been a strength for Auburn. Jackson Sanders, who will you likely see tonight, as long as it's a competitive game. He's good to come in for 3 or 4 innings. He was a starter. Then they decided to move him. A left-hander, maybe a 3/4 arm slot, and just has been just dominant out of that bullpen for them. And, if it's a close game, they're going to feel very confident bringing Jackson in and have a chance to maybe, post 3 or 4 innings, giving up no more than a run or so. So, but you never know. This is the tournament. The ball is flying out today. I don't know how many home runs total, but it's been a bunch. So we'll see if that continues into the night. But, the pitching has been the strength of this team. The bullpen has been very good. They've got 3 other bullpen guys that they feel great about. L.J. Cormier, his dad played in Alabama. He's a true freshman. Auburn's been excellent. I don't think we'll see him tonight, but he's been really, really good. And then Ryan Hetzler, who I think had around 10 saves last year. Not as many this year, but still a guy that's really dependable in the bullpen. So that is definitely a strength of this team.
Yeah, Auburn leads the SEC in staff ERA. Offensively, they're pretty good offensively as well, 5th in the league in batting average. And actually, Auburn hitters struck out the fewest amount of times. So this is the pitching staff in LSU that strikes out the most hitters against the offense that strikes out the least. Why has Auburn been able to keep that strikeout number down this year?
It's just that they have that approach, and they've had it for a while where they just try to go middle and don't really try to, go pull side unless they can, time it up on a breaking pitch. But it's usually middle away for them. And it's been that way for a while. I would say that even though you give me those stats, they have had trouble against number 1 type starters, guys with really good stuff. If LSU starter comes out here and gets a couple of strikeouts or a few early, you'll see this whole lineup struggle. It just seems like they go into a funk there quite easily. So that's something to watch. And I think that's one of their weaknesses is, their approach. Sometimes they lose it and they start looking really, really bad. And then, it's kind of like Georgia. Marciano held Georgia to just 2 runs in, I think, 6 innings last weekend. But they lost 2-1 because the Georgia starter was just cutting them to pieces, and they kept chasing balls in the dirt and stuff. So we'll see how that goes tonight. I think you'll get a good idea of what to expect from Auburn's lineup here early. They usually show their hand fairly early in the game.
Bryan Matthews from On3 covers Auburn at @Matt AU if you want to give him a follow. Before you go, for Butch Thompson, what's the blueprint? Best case for tonight?
Oh, I think they would love for Marciano to get deep in this game and not have to put too much into the bullpen. Jackson Sanders is the guy who hasn't done it yet, but they talked about him, pitching once and then coming back on a weekend. And they will need that this time. Of course, they got the day off tomorrow if they win. So I think that would be the number one thing for them. And just lineup-wise, just be a little bit successful and have, score some runs, have confidence going into the rest of the tournament if they can win. But I don't think anybody at Auburn is assuming anything, even though LSU is having a down year. I think everybody understands that LSU is one of the premier teams in the country, and they're still going to put a lot of talented players on that field.
He is Bryan Matthews from On3 covers Auburn at @Matt AU if you want to give him a follow. LSU and Auburn, 8 o'clock scheduled first pitch tonight there in Hoover. Thanks, Bryan. We appreciate it, man.
Hey, appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Of course, always. It's after further review. Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. You hear the rumbling outside, raining, bad weather. Every time you get in the vehicle and you get that little stinging sideways rain, and it could be a little leery, tenuous, maybe, a little dangerous, hazardous situation. You always have great peace of mind when you're driving one of the safest vehicles on the road, and I certainly have that every time I get behind the wheel of my Volkswagen. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. It's the highest safety designation. And whenever you go, I would challenge you to this. If you go shop a Volkswagen, Go to South Point, chat up Mr. Bill, and have him explain to you how Volkswagens are made, like the frame of the vehicle, to be able to withstand impact and why they're so safe and soundly built. It's pretty incredible. Now, I'm not even a science guy. I'm not totally into all the architectural nature of everything. But when you learn, you go, man, that's really smart. It's the great German engineering, the style, feel, performance of luxury, without the cost. And they're manufactured in the US of A at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. Looking for a car? Put Volkswagen on your list. southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, thanks to Bryan Matthews for joining us there on the show. LSU and Auburn, 8 o'clock, first pitch tonight. If you missed it, Tigers beat Oklahoma last night, 6-2 in the nightcap game that went past midnight. Stephen Milam homered late to push a 4-2 lead to 6-2, which would be the final margin. Tigers used 3 pitchers. Of course, William Schmidt was scratched about 30 minutes prior to first pitch with some back soreness. Jay Johnson made the decision that Schmidt wouldn't throw in the game, and it's unlikely, it seems, that Schmidt will pitch in Hoover this week for as long as LSU might be there. And then the Tigers lost Omar Cerna. After the game, this was Jay Johnson kind of giving the update on Omar Cerna, who was injured sliding into home.
Yeah, he got his hand stepped on directly. And it was ugly. I mean, it was really bloody. If you don't like blood, you would not have liked to see it. They had it wrapped up. I'm assuming he got stitches. Have no idea other than that.
So it sounds like Cerna probably unavailable as well. It was ugly. Look, he slid into home, and his hand just went right under the catcher spikes. So very unfortunate. A season plagued by injuries for LSU. 2 more as you're trying to save your season from key impact guys in Schmidt and Cerna. So if Cerna isn't available tonight, we'll see what they do against the lefty. You'll have right-handed options. Is it Yaman? Is it Simpson? We'll see what they elect to do whenever the lineup is posted. But LSU and Auburn tonight as the LSU Tigers try to extend their season. Auburn Tigers seemingly, if you believe Bryan Matthews there, have a top 8 national seed locked up. I mean, you're 3rd in the RPI, would stand to reason. 17 SEC wins. Probably like to get that number a little higher. You never really know. You want to remove all doubt, and sometimes the conference tournament can do that. So it does feel like there's something on the line there for Auburn, which is why Butch Thompson's going in there trying to win this thing, throwing Jake Marciano tonight. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, with all the conversation about 12, 16, 24, college football playoff, all that stuff, Iowa State's athletic director stepped forward and made a very bold proclamation. And it would have to be bold for me to bring up the Iowa State athletic director on AFR. So we're going to do that next. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. And Gordon invests so much in our community, not just in the people and, of course, across the state of Louisiana, with some 200 attorneys on Gordon's team. So no matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, there's a member of Gordon's team near you to help you, to serve you. GetGordon.com, getgordon.com, but also the philanthropic arm of the firm, Gordon Gives, which we tell you about all the time, the laptop giveaway, the bicycle giveaway, so many charitable endeavors sponsoring, different nonprofit endeavors all over the state. And, of course, there's the G Team through NIL, and then things like Court to Table, which is a great restaurant concept and pickleball concept, of which Gordon is a partner helping grow Baton Rouge. Get Gordon. Get it done.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
You probably don't know who Jamie Pollard is, and that's okay. He's the athletic director at Iowa State. And this week, Jamie Pollard was at a booster event, and he made some comments that ruffled a lot of feathers because he effectively stoked the flames of saying, let the Big Ten and the SEC seed. Let them go do their own thing and see how they like it. These were the comments.
It's frustrating because collectively the 4 conferences created the CSC, and we spent a lot of money. The 4 commissioners spent a lot of money creating the CSC. And so then to have two of the conferences not want to adhere to it is perplexing to me, because then it's like, well, why did we spend the money? If you didn't want rules, then why did you create this entity? That's what's frustrating to me. The same people that say they want rules only want rules if they don't apply to them. I mean, I said it 3 years ago. Let them break away. I'd say I would turn it around and say we should break away from them. Let them go, but they have to go in all their sports and see how fun it is to play baseball and softball and track when it's just the 20 of you.
Okay. Now, for what it's worth, Pollard was asked to clarify his comments, and he said, what I was referencing was just frustration with what we all agreed to spend a whole bunch of money to create the system, that's the CSC, to move forward with. And then in the new era, and two of the conferences clearly don't want to follow what they created. So it's a waste of money, a waste of everybody's time. Now, what he's referencing, by the way, of course, is in the House settlement last year, everyone agreed to create the CSC. That's the Collegiate Sports Commission. That's that independent third party run by Deloitte that oversees the NIL deals. So it all has to be approved for market value. They also agreed in the House settlement for the cap of revenue share at $20.5 million. And so what he's saying is, the quote is, we entered into a $1 billion settlement within college athletics that said there was going to be a cap in revenue sharing. And the cap became the floor. Obviously, the cap on revenue share, what he's referring to is the floor now, because all the teams now are trying to build NIL deals on top of the $20 million. And teams and programs like Iowa State get left behind. A couple of things here. Ross Dellinger had a great piece at Yahoo. Very extensive piece if you want to go read it, where he illustrated a lot of the frustration with roughly $150 million in NIL deals that are still being held up by the CSC that have been unapproved. So you have a lot of teams, programs, maybe promising, wink, wink, NIL money to players via NIL through the CSC, and the CSC isn't getting the money to the players. So the question is, can you really promise or discuss these NIL numbers with athletes if it's not getting through the CSC? That's one point of frustration. But the other thing that I think is maybe more relevant is where Jamie Pollard there said, see, for the 20 of them, see how fun it is if they go play each other. I'm paraphrasing, right? Now, y'all know I'm not really good at math. How many teams are in the Big Ten? Muse, help me out here. Big Ten, how many teams are in the Big Ten?
18.
Okay. How many are in the SEC?
16.
18 and 16 is 28. 18 and 10 is 28 and 6 is 30. 34.
34.
I'm not good at math, but I can do 18 plus 16. That's 34, right?
That's 34.
How many teams are in the NFL?
32.
32 teams in the NFL. Seated coast to coast?
Coast to coast, yes.
32 coast to coast. Does it feel like we don't have enough NFL teams?
No.
Well, Major League Baseball. Do we not have enough? Do we need more of those?
No. No, 30 is good.
NBA? We need more of those?
No.
Probably going to get.
I was about to say
probably going to get a couple more either way.
2 more, but they're good.
The point is, having a little fun at Pollard's expense here. The SEC and the Big Ten cover the footprint of the United States. You got the East Coast, you got the West Coast, you got the Southeast, Southwest. The flyover states, but the question is, do you really need the flyover states? There's some brands that would certainly participate. Look, you've got Oklahoma, Nebraska, Iowa. I mean, you do have some of them that check the boxes. Like, every year USA Today does a NCAA finance review. This was 2024. This is the most recent one I found. Maybe the 2025 numbers aren't completely done yet. So this was for the 2024 fiscal year. I'm going to read off some. And so this was actually like Texas's last year in the Big, Texas and Oklahoma there last year in the Big 12. I'm going to read off these schools. These are the highest revenue schools. I want you to tell me what they have in common. Okay? Play along with me here, right? So Ohio State, this is 24, because this was the last year Texas was in the Big 12. We don't have all the numbers yet for 25. Ohio State, $251 million. Texas, $239. Bama, $214. Michigan, Georgia. Tell me if you see a theme. LSU, Texas A&M, Florida.
Yeah, I got the theme, I think.
I'll go on.
Okay.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Auburn. Michigan State. Indiana. Got anything?
Yeah, they're all in the Big Ten and SEC.
Yeah. So 14 is Virginia, oddly enough. I wouldn't have thought that would have been the first one to break the streak.
That actually is surprising.
But there they are. Then Florida State. Then Kentucky. Clemson.
Okay.
Tennessee. Oregon. Arkansas. Iowa. Wisconsin.
Yep.
Louisville. Then Illinois. Washington.
Another one.
Nebraska. South Carolina. Missouri, Minnesota, Ole Miss. You get it, right? Okay. That's the top 30. And Virginia, who did I say? Virginia.
Louisville. Clemson, Florida State.
Clemson, Florida State. Is that it? That's only 4?
That was a 4.
So of the top 30 revenue athletic departments, 26 of the 30 are SEC or Big Ten. And by the way, my guess is when the SEC, Big Ten seed or college football seeds, right? This is the thing I've been talking about literally since the summer of 2011 when we had that giant seismic shift in college football, that this was an inevitability. A lot of people didn't see it then. I told you 15 years ago, like this was an inevitability. We are going to have college football like you have the NFL. The NFC South doesn't have its own TV contract. We're going to get to a point where it's not SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, all with their own TV contracts. The superpowers are going to come together, invite only or buy-in, whatever it is, 40 teams, 50 teams, however many it is, and they will collectively have one TV contract, one scheduling mechanism, one postseason. Like, we are headed, that is an inevitability. It's the only way to make this work financially at its apex. I mean, you don't have to guess. The pro leagues are doing it. And the counter argument is, well, then college sports come pro sports. Yeah. Where you been for the last 40 years? What do you think this has always been? It's always been about escalating revenues. I laugh at people who blame NIL is ruining the sport. No. The players deciding they want to be paid didn't ruin the sport. The adults deciding to turn this into a $1 billion annual endeavor is what ruined the sport, because that started this inevitable process. Because when you start generating revenues, it never stops. Like, do you think Apple wants to stop being profitable? Do you think Amazon wants to stop making more money? Do you think the biggest companies in the world, GE, Exxon, Shell, like, you think they're just not, they're going to be satisfied? They're not going to be interested in making more money? You think NFL owners are not going to be interested in making more money one day? Yo. The adults in the room started us down this path. There is an inevitable end of the road, and it's with college football breaking away and operating independently as just one college football. In Iowa State, Jamie Pollard is not going to be invited to the party. And it's going to be just fine. I don't need Iowa State. If they want to play, cool. You love the Cy-Hawk Trophy. I'm sure there's just quite literally tens of people that care about the Cy-Hawk Trophy. I'm not one of them. Every day, every year at the end of the college football season, I'm like, man, whew, great season, man. Great season, great playoff, good championship. Could use a little more Cy-Hawk in my life, though. We're good. And he's ticked because Matt Campbell just left his football program for Penn State and took, 23 players, something like that? Because he just got gutted. And so I understand his emotional response to that, being the Iowa State athletic director. But it doesn't change the reality of the situation. We're all, as college football loving people, going to be just fine watching the sport we love when we get to see a full schedule of games when power opponents play power opponents. We no longer have to watch the trash that they force feed us against G5 and FCS and all that nonsense that nobody wants to watch. A real postseason. Like big brands on the field every Saturday. Full stadiums. All the things you love. Pageantry, fight songs, everything. That hot garbage I watched in Tiger Stadium in November with LSU against Western Kentucky, that's the sacred regular season you're trying to protect. Kick rocks. It's the stupidest argument ever. Iowa State's just not going to be a part of it. And he knows it. And so they'll break off, and there'll be different tiers, and they'll go do their own thing, and maybe they'll be governed by the NCAA. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care what they do. I'm an elitist. Have a bake sale if you want new uniforms. But that's the reality of where we're headed. And it's going to be better for college football. It's going to be better for you and for me and for the fans who consume the product. And when they're independent, they will legitimately be able to cap the earnings and have a salary cap and have rules that govern everyone under that umbrella. And the quicker we get there, all of this stuff that makes everyone so uncomfortable settles down. And we're headed there. And we're going to get there, although we're dragging some of you kicking and screaming. All right, it's after further review. Final break of hour number 2. You used to do Tigers and the Bros. Stay here.
AFR.
If you're hiring, man, you need Glow Resources. Matt, hiring for what? Anything. You need skilled blue-collar labor? Glow Resources. Got office jobs you can't fill? Office assistant all the way up to the C-suite? Glow Resources. See, they interview roughly 50 people a day. So over the course of a year, you're talking about 15,000 interviews that Glow Resources conducts. So they know the questions to ask, how to vet the people, to find the right people for the exact job you're looking to fill. And they're so good at what they do that they guarantee it. At Glow Resources, if they hire an employee for you, they guarantee, if for whatever reason it doesn't work, they will give you a prorated refund, or they'll find you a new employee for free. But they have a 96% success rate. Like, it's going to work. It's Glow Resources. Check them out, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home, too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know hard work starts with the right equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025 e-tractor with loader for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, this is the tractor built to get it done. Don't wait. This offer ends April 30th, 2026. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Kiffin was on Pardon My Take, broke his silence. We'll get to some of that here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Right now, Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, Dylan Cruz made his season debut for the Washington Nationals on Tuesday night after being called back up from AAA. 1 for 4 on the night for Cruz, split time in center field and right field. The one hit was a single. Nats are back in action here against the Mets again on Wednesday. Grant Taylor picked up his first save of this season. Pitched a scoreless 9th inning, struck out the side actually for the White Sox as they beat the Mariners 2-1. ERA 1.78 for Grant Taylor here so far in 2026, and now 1 save to go along with a whole mess of holds. Tampa Bay Rays in action with the Orioles last night. Big night for our guy. Big night for our guy, Hunter Fiducia. And the Rays. 2 for 3, including his first home run of the season. That opened the scoring in the second inning to give Tampa Bay a 1-0 lead. He would also add a single later in the game as well. Drove in a run, obviously, on the homer. Did have the one punch out, but he's hitting .278 here so far on the season now with his first home run. What?
In the second? He homered in the... They didn't score in the second. I'm looking at the box score.
You're looking at today's game.
No, this was yesterday.
Well, I'm looking at yesterday's game as well.
It was 1-1 after 1, then there was a single run by the Rays in the bottom of the 6th. And then
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Stand by. Was this today?
You're looking.
Maybe I had today's game.
He homered in today's game.
He homered in today's game.
Because last night, the Rays second. Last night was one of Otterlock's, which hit.
Yep.
Otter had himself a day.
My mistake. I pulled up the wrong game, but that's the one I wanted. 2 for 3 today for Hunter Fiducia. Homer, first of the year in the second inning. He's doing well. Aaron Nola was on the bump today. 5 innings.
Otter had himself a night last night.
All right, we like to hear that. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned for Nola. Didn't walk anybody and punched out 5. Phillies did take the L. Nola now 2-4 on the season. And Anthony Ianson was on the bump for the Portland Sea Dogs a night ago. 5 hitless innings, 5 shutout innings, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Got his first AA win. His ERA is 1. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by the Williamson Eye Center. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020? Easy. Call 924-2020. Let this be the push, y'all. If you have thought about LASIK and you've just put it on hold for whatever reason, maybe you were told you weren't a candidate for LASIK. I was years ago. Turns out I was a perfect candidate for LASIK. Technology evolves. There are options for you. Stop shoving contacts in your eyes. Stop reaching for those readers. Stop being blind as you walk your way to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Open your eye and just see. Eyes, both of them. Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEye.com. Hour 3 next.
AFR.
All right, y'all, put a button here on hour number 2. Hey, as I sit here in studio, I can hear the rumbly, tumbly of the thunder outside. If it's raining, it stormed last night. It's raining again today. Of course, it's May in Louisiana. And storm season is 11 days away. So if you have issues with your roof, we'd love to help you out at Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Winner of the best roofing company in the Best of Ascension in 2025. And just recently, Parish was awarded the best roofing company in the Best of Baton Rouge and The Advocate here for 2026. So if you got an issue with your roof, leak, see granules at your downspouts, repairs, replacements, gutters, soft wash, commercial, residential, we do it all. We'd love to help you out. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us. by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Thunder seeks to even up the NBA's Western Conference Finals at a game apiece in Game 2 tonight versus the Spurs, 8 Eastern ESPN Radio. After Victor Wembanyama's incredible performance in the Game 1 win, some tweaks for OKC's game plan tonight, notes ESPN NBA reporter Tim McMahon.
Look, they've got to move players. They've got to move their bodies. They've got to move the ball. They've got to make Victor Wembanyama move. Jed Holman said the answer is going to be in the movement, because if you just let Wemby plant himself near the paint, he's basically shutting down the floor from the elbows down. You're not going to be able to finish over him.
New Mavericks president Masai Ujiri said removing coach Jason Kidd was a difficult decision and was his alone. Avalanche defenseman Cale Makar will miss the NHL's West Final opener versus the Golden Knights tonight. He's dealing with multiple injuries, 8 Eastern on ESPN. The Sabres signed coach Lindy Ruff to a 2-year extension. Under Ruff, Buffalo ended a 14-season playoff drought this year. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers telling reporters that he will retire after the 2026 NFL season, which will be his 22nd in the league.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Used to. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
You all right over there?
Yeah, when it played like that, it threw me off, and I forgot to click the other thing to shut the open off there.
Hump day.
That was weird.
It's hump day.
I look at the clock, and it's not as weird.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You know what I mean, Paulie?
Hump day.
Know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's hump day.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock. It's time to go home almost. Yeah. A lot of people are hopping in their car.
Yeah.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Usually when we would be on point because it's 5 o'clock, it's drive time, but not Muse.
Hump day.
This is the time when things start getting a little hazy.
It's hump day.
A little fuzzy.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Not quite as focused.
Hump day.
Not the highlight of the show.
It's hump day.
See what I did there?
I picked it up, yeah.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Paul.
Hump
Man,
day.
y'all are really just smashing it today.
It's hump day.
Great. All right, let's just move. We'll move on. We'll get going. We got Ersin Demir here in about 25 minutes. It was actually a little bit of a challenge to find someone who covers international basketball. Like, understand, like, I don't know people who cover the Euro League every day or the ABL down in Australia. So Ersin Demir is a guy who has his own Substack and has a lot of extensive research on a lot of these prospects. So I DM'd him on Twitter. He's going to join us here in about 25 minutes. I'm excited. He actually just DM'd me because John Rothstein just minutes ago broke this story. A little breaking news here. That Will Wade's got another international prospect committed. Now, the good news for all the hypocrites that cover college basketball that are just bitching and moaning about Will Wade adding international prospects, he's a younger guy. He's not in his 20s. He's a teenager. Michael Ruzick is his name. 7-footer. Been on NBA draft boards for a few seasons. Rothstein notes should add size and skill up front in Baton Rouge. So, Michael Ruzick commits to LSU. We'll ask Ersin Demir about him coming up here in about 25 minutes from right now. Will Wade, ever since the Vanity Fair article dropped Monday last week, and the subsequent reaction has been quiet. Now, I think it's important to know also that Lane Kiffin was out of town. There was no visitors. He was down in Florida. His boat shared a photo, I think, on his Instagram story of him and his nephew, Cookie, catching some redfish. So a little bit out of sight, out of mind. A lot of people wondered, did LSU tell him to stop tweeting? I was not told that. Actually, had a conversation with an LSU administrator today, was not told that. But whatever. And a day ago, Will Wade popped up on a lot of other people's social media because he was around town with the guys from Pardon My Take over at Barstool. And that interview, that episode dropped today, so you can check it out wherever you get podcasts or YouTube. You want to go check out Pardon My Take. And they talked a lot about the stuff that we've talked about plenty, leaving the exit at Ole Miss and the airport scene and all that stuff. I'm not quite as concerned or interested in relitigating any of that. I mean, that is something that was talked about then. People will continue to talk about it. Here, I think many people in and around and interested in LSU football have turned the page and are far more interested in this football season and less interested in how the exit at Ole Miss transpired. We all know what happened. The story's been told. It's what it is. It's far more interesting now to know, okay, you've assembled this roster. You've come through spring. What's the work like now, and how are you looking for the 2026 season? In my opinion, is there's nothing more important to answer that than Sam Leavitt. Did an interview earlier today with Garland Gillen from Fox 8 New Orleans. It'll air, I think, maybe on Friday, he told me. We'll tell you when it airs, whenever it's scheduled. And Garland asked me my prediction for the football season. I said, Garland, I'm not copping out on you, man. And a lot of people have asked me this, so I'm maybe spoiling this part of it. I'm not copping out, and a lot of people have asked me, and I'm just not prepared to give that answer because until I know what Sam Leavitt looks like in this offense, I can't answer that question. Quarterback is the most important position in organized team sports. LSU spent a bunch of money to get Sam Leavitt here. He was the number one guy in the portal, and he didn't participate in spring. And the guys I did watch in spring weren't good. Now, I think, to clarify, Husan Longstreet, Landon Clark have the potential to be really good players one day. There's a lot of ability there. But we just saw it this past season. LSU spent a ton of money on the 2025 roster. You had a fifth-year senior in Garrett Nussmeier returning. Nussmeier was limited. Then when he didn't play and Van Buren went in, your offense stunk. Didn't matter how good you were on defense. You couldn't move the football, couldn't score, and you go 7-6. It's brutal. And I think this team, if Sam Leavitt isn't healthy, could face the same fate, a similar fate, 8-4, 7-5. I think that is what this team will go if Sam Leavitt is not healthy. So, Lane Kiffin, Pardon My Take, guys, talked about Sam Leavitt.
What we see in him is some similarities. Winner, highly competitive. He took the team to the playoffs, 2 years ago. Made a lot of plays, where things broke down. He had to make plays with his feet. And he's really, really competitive and smart, really student of the game, loves watching it. He actually has been very limited because of surgery and what he could do, but the way that he's approached the game and how serious he is about being great, it's awesome to be around.
One of the comments that Kiffin made during spring in the 4-5 media, the press conferences he had during spring that stood out most was when he talked about Leavitt being one of those guys. And the way Lane said it was, in the team room, he asked guys who loves football, and they all raised their hand. And his point was, you don't love football. Most of you love what football will do for you. You love the money or the fame or whatever it may be. Sam Levitt's a guy that loves football, a guy that would play it at the highest level for free because he loves football. He's a football junkie. He's got ability. I don't think any of that is in question. We've seen it. We've seen him do it at the major level. Is he healthy enough? How quickly can he assimilate in this offense? That's the key to this LSU season. The other thing that I thought was super interesting was Kiffin talking about the challenge of turning over this much of the roster, 40 guys from the portal, freshman class coming in as well, which actually kind of, I think, feels pretty comfortable for Lane Kiffin.
The good thing is we've had some practice. Like last year, that team we just talked about that, won 13 games, 11-1 regular season, that was actually a rebuilt team. That was not supposed to be our best team. You know, we'd lost a lot of players, and Jackson Dart, the quarterback, to the first round, and a lot of NFL players. So that was a rebuilt team with a ton of portal players again. So we have had practice in today's era of college football, especially the way we built teams year in and year out there. So we've done this. It is like almost every year you're redoing your culture. This is a little harder because we weren't here, so none of the returning players, even though they're returning to LSU, they don't know our culture.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So in that way, it's a little bit like an expansion team. Mm-hmm. You know, but, you know, at the same time, other people are going through the same things.
It's funny, you know, we go to SEC media days every year, and I dive into all the preseason magazines to try to familiarize myself with the teams that we're going to talk about that week. And so you go in, and we talk about this every July, so if you're familiar with the show, that this will resonate. But we go in every July, and I go into media days with certain preconceived notions, certain ideas, and I'm always interested if I come away either like validating those or maybe calling those into question. Can I confirm or disconfirm those ideas at media days? And one of the things that, like, I'll give you an example. One of the things last year was that Kirby had his youngest team at Georgia. More than 50% of his roster were freshmen and sophomores. It was the youngest team he's ever had at Georgia. And so it was really interesting hearing Kirby talk about that last year. And that's a team that still made the playoff. But the other thing, one of the reasons why I was not high on Ole Miss last year, they returned 2 starters. Two. And from a team, remember, that was 9-3, that was the best, the most talented team in 24 that Ole Miss ever had. They had 9 guys drafted. That was the most they'd had drafted in the modern era. So a team that had that many guys drafted went 9-3 and returned 2 starters. And they went to the playoff. They had good culture, they had buy-in, and most importantly, they hit on Chambliss. No one knew what they had at the time. Lane Kiffin didn't know. I mean, they brought Austin Simmons to media days. Nobody knew Trinidad Chambliss' name in July, and it became a phenom, which is an amazing story, right, in college football. So he's right in that the turnover shouldn't bother him. That's something he is very familiar with and comfortable with because he does it every year. The real question is Sam Levitt good to go? And if he is, awesome. I think LSU's a playoff team. And if he's not, there's going to be a lot of disappointed people around here in the fall. All right, after further review, you want to catch, again, that full interview, Lane on Pardon My Take, YouTube, podcast, and get it anywhere. Hey, we're brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. They're open right now. They open at 5 o'clock. If you don't have a reservation, no sweat. Remember, you could always pop in, dine at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. First come, first serve, every day at the bar. You want to get a reservation? Always encourage that. Supperclubbtr.com. Supperclubbtr.com. Man, no matter which course you're going to have, maybe you're just going to eat some apps and have a glass of wine, a cocktail, and close some business. The burnt ends are awesome. Man, the tuna poke is out of this world. If you love tuna is my favorite fish. If you love tuna, the tuna poke appetizer is incredible. Maybe you want a steak. maybe you're maybe you're finally going to try the thing I tell you about all the time, which is the veal parm. Remember, they bring the veal chop to bone in to the table, breaded, fried, without the cheese and the Parmesan on it. They bring that in a skillet, and they put the veal chop on the table, and they lay the skillet with the cheese and the marinara over the veal table side, so that way it doesn't get soggy. It's just, everything is thoughtful. It's just an incredible dining experience. The food is amazing at Supper Club. Just go if you haven't been. And if you've been but haven't been in a while, go back. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. All right, in 15 minutes, y'all, we'll talk to Ersin Demir. Excited about this. First time he'll be on the show is a guy who covers international basketball. So we're going to talk to him about all these guys that Will Wade is landing, including the newest, Michael Ruzic, out of Croatia? Is that what we said? Croatia? Out of Croatia. So Will Wade told us he was going to build an international roster. He's doing it. He's got another one here today, so we'll talk about that coming up here in about 15 minutes. Stick around with us here. It's a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, past couple of years, LSU football, Friday before every home game, where do they stay? Renaissance Baton Rouge. Why? Because they can accommodate a party of any size, even an entire football program moving into the hotel for the weekend. The Grand Ballroom, it's where LSU would have all their team meetings, their team meals, big enough to host the entire football program in one room. They have enough guest rooms to have the entire football program stay there as well. And they have smaller rooms that they can partition off where they have the individual position group meetings as well. So no matter what size event you have, you need the Grand Ballroom for 500 people. You need a boardroom for a dozen people. Anything in between, a wedding reception, a fundraiser, maybe you've got a convention of some sort. Renaissance Baton Rouge would love to host you. Call my friend Allison Crump today over at Renaissance Baton Rouge.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic butter spread, grilled to golden perfection, and made to order just for you. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. Trusted by champions, built for Louisiana.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Always appreciate Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Remember, it's not just ED treatments. It's hormone replacement therapy. It's peptide therapy. It's about how you feel. You want to change the way you feel every single day. Goodwood can help. Affordable, lowest prices, never any contracts. Yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com. All right, LSU baseball. We are about 3 hours away from scheduled first pitch in Hoover with LSU and Auburn. Thanks to Bryan Matthews, who was here, covers Auburn for On 3, was here about an hour ago, kind of gave us a thumbnail preview at Auburn. They feel like they've got a national seed already locked up. Maybe they do. They're the number 3 RPI team in America. They've got 17 SEC wins. They could very well already have it sewed up. 17 isn't always a lock to be a national seed, but maybe when the metrics look that as good as they do at Auburn, that could well be enough. But a couple of wins in Hoover would certainly solidify it for the Auburn Tigers. As for LSU, we know they got to go win the SEC tournament if they want to advance. So right now, Arkansas has got an early lead on Tennessee. It's 4-0, and they just homered. So it's actually a 5-0 bottom 3. Would love maybe to see a little bit of a run rule piece here. Saw that earlier in the day with Mississippi State over Missouri. Keep this thing running on time. But Arkansas getting up early here on Tennessee. LSU and Auburn will follow this game. What we know is William Schmidt was scratched last night, about 30 minutes before the start. As of this very moment, no announcement from Jay Johnson on a starting pitcher for tonight's ball game against Auburn. We do know that Jake Marciano, Auburn's ace, is going to throw. And Butch Thompson, the Auburn coach, did talk a little more about Auburn's pitching plan.
Marciano, and if we're in the game, we dump Sanders. We do just like we did game 1. These guys have thrown a pretty good bit. We've been healthy this year, and we would love that to continue. But I think Marciano will be shorted one day, and Sanders has been built for it. So I think they're close enough to full speed to run them out there. The winner of our game would get Thursday off, and then that would put you in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, single games. So I think we would fall right in line with normal rest there. So you could see Alvarez would go Friday for us, Petrovic would go Saturday, and I'd love to have to figure out something on Sunday.
Butch Thompson sounds like he's got his plan all ready to go. This is a great coach, man. Obviously, a pitching background, and it shows at Auburn. I mean, they're the best staff. They have the best staff ERA in the Southeastern Conference. Their offense strikes out the least of any team in the SEC. They're 5th in team batting average. So there's going to be a real challenge. LSU and Auburn, as you know, didn't play this year. But to speak as to how loaded the SEC is, Auburn was 6th in the conference, despite what we just said. So big challenge for LSU and Jay Johnson. And on Tuesday night after the Oklahoma win, late into the night, Jay Johnson was on the SEC Network post-game set and talked about the message to his team after the Oklahoma game.
We've had all the opportunities. We haven't been able to capitalize. We haven't been able to capitalize on them, but we have one shot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're at the fair, and you only got $1 left to throw and knock over the milk cartons. You know, to take home the stuffed animal. You know, you got $1 at the blackjack table. You know, to try to build yourself back up. But we won this hand tonight. Okay, so we got another hand tomorrow.
It's an interesting way to put it. You really got $1 to knock over the milk cartons, or the milk bottles, and those heavy milk bottles. Sometimes you got to do more than just knock over. Well, you got to do like 3 times. You know what I mean? You ever been to a fair? Like, usually it's not just knock them over once. You got to knock them all over, like several times, to get the big animals. stuffed animal.
Yeah, normally you're standing there at like the booth, and there's 3 different tables of the milk jug set up.
Gotta do them all.
Yeah, knock them all down, and you win your prize.
And sometimes those carnies, they like glue the milk jug to the ground, so you can't knock it over.
They're not trying to lose money here.
We were over at the St. Jude Fair a few weeks ago, and it was one of those dart games that's got balloons everywhere, right? And inside the balloon is like, or behind the balloon is like a number, and you have to get a certain number to get the different prizes, right? If you're like 7 to 10, then you get the big stuffed animal over. You don't know where it is. You got to just keep hitting dart. I think they didn't have any 7 to 10s on there at all on the board. I mean, I was powing all over the place. You know, my niece wanted a blue stuffed something or other. I'm like, Kat, I didn't spend like $30. I've hit 300 balloons. I mean, I don't think you have one on this board. Like, show me where it is on this board. You know,
They'll get you, man. They're sneaky.
Those carnies.
Yeah, they just want your $30.
Circus folk. Nomads, you know. Small hands. Smell like cabbage. Jay Johnson gave his thoughts on Auburn as well.
They were my preseason pick to win the national championship. A lot of same position players that we played last year. I know they're very well thought of throughout the country. They have the most quad 1 wins of anybody. I think early thoughts are just kind of, we haven't even cross-scouted them a lot. They haven't played somebody like right before we've played them. But I think the thought was dominant offense. We'll see on the pitching, but I think they've really pitched well. No surprise, you know, with Butch and Marciano had a great year this year. So looking forward to it. You know, they're the team that, until this year, I mean, has been the hardest for us to play against, and respect them a lot. Looking forward to the game.
8:30 is a scheduled first pitch for LSU and Auburn. We're brought about Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. That's Arco Power Systems. If you're a business owner, power goes out, what happens to your business? How do you get back online? You just wait. You wait for the power company to flip the switch, get you back online. What if power's out for hours? What if power's out for days? What if power's out for weeks? You don't have to worry about it if you've got Arco. Have a plan. You have a plan for everything in your business as a business owner. Your business is a living, breathing thing that you care for every single day. What about if the power goes out? That's where Arco comes in. This is energy for your business. These are industrial Generac generators to power your business when the power goes out. Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, and everything is turnkey. Awesome local people, and everything is turnkey. They can sell, service, install, rent that Generac industrial standby generator for your business of any size. Arco Power Systems. Baton Rouge, but all over Louisiana, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, north to Little Rock. Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We're going to knock out a quick break. Listen, just very candidly, I think you could probably empathize, man. I don't know anything about these prospects that LSU is getting, these international players. Ersin Demir does. And found him on Twitter, and he does a ton of scouting of all these international prospects. So he's going to join us next and tell us about the basketball players, not Will Wade and all the controversy and the whatever, the age. Just who are these basketball players that LSU is landing? We're going to talk about that with Ersin Demir next on AFR.
After further review.
Get on by and see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where they are. Seaganeer Airline, that's the preferred location for the Scone family. Mid-City on Donmore, LA16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local, shop local, bypass the box store. Y'all, Clegg's has been around. You started in you're selling flowers out of a truck bed 60 years ago. And now they've grown into this massive garden center, largest garden center in our state, with 4 locations around the greater Baton Rouge area. Man, they love supporting our local economy. So support a great local business. If you need flowers or plants or trees or shrubs or mulch or soil, bag, bulk, go to Clegg's. Great local business that's convenient all over greater Baton Rouge. And they're awesome people. You're not sure what to get, just ask one of them. They can help you out. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here. Jimmy will be here in about 15 minutes for Otter Locks. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Tigers and Will Wade picked up another commit here this afternoon, and Will Wade said he was going to go heavy international. He has. Thankfully, Ersin Demir, who covers the NBA and the draft internationally, has done a ton of reporting and scouting reports on all these guys. Good enough to hang out with us here and kind of fill in the blanks on some of these guys that we just don't know a lot about. Hey, Ersin, we appreciate the time, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. Hey, thanks for having me on, man. It's a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with Michael Ruzic, who we just found out from John Rothstein committed a bit ago. 7-footer, Croatian. What can you tell us about him?
Well, actually, the first thing is it's a combination of not expecting too much, while these are very solid guys. And talking about Ruzic, he was an NBA draft post a couple of years ago. I wrote about him then. 6'11", super skilled guy. He's more of a 4 and a floor spacer, more of that skill 4, where the other guys that, in the front court are more, finesse power players. He's adding a lot of role versatility to this team, and I like Ruzic a lot. Ruzic is a solid player for Juventud in Spain, and that's a team that is valuing youth and developing young players. That's one of the biggest brands in Spain regarding developing players. And Ruzic has been in their system for a couple of years, and he's a solid pickup. I like him a lot. I think this is one of the best pickups of the 4 or 5 international guys that they signed.
Okay, so let's look at – I'll give you sort of a little dealer's choice here. when you look at the international guys that Will Wade has committed, let's talk about Jan Madar, Bryce Desert, Marcio Santos, now Ružić. Of the other guys, who do you think is the most interesting or the best prospects of the ones we just mentioned there? I guess we could throw in Salu Niang as well. Who's the best of those prospects?
For me, it's Salu Niang, without any doubt. Because the difference between the European game and the college game is a lot more athleticism and physicality in college versus more tactics, fundamentals in Europe. And Salu Niang is physically more than ready to play in the SEC, more than ready. He will instantly be one of the best defenders in the SEC. And this is the kind of the connecting piece for this team. Because if you put a lot of offensive talent on the team and they need to adjust to America, it's not going to work. But Salu Niang is going to be, being the glue piece to hold this team together, in my opinion.
That's an interesting point there, Ersin, when you talk about all these international pieces coming together and what Will Wade is building. So if I were to ask you, just looking at the collection of talent, right, the guys we just mentioned, in addition, we'll see if R.J. Lewis is eligible, but Mo Diabate, Austin Nunez, Abdi Bashir, Divine Ugachukwu. You look at all these guys, how would you describe that collection of talent? What is Will Wade trying to build with those guys?
A lot of real heavy, front court heavy team. And this is a team that needs a lot of good guard play to make it happen. Because Bryce Desert, he's a very mobile 7-footer, great finishing around the rim, great screener, but he's a guard play, reliant player. And Michael Ružić, as a floor spacer, he's not going to create his own plays, inconsistently. That's something that I expect. He's another guy that will benefit from a lot of, someone as a floor general who can lead that team. And it's going to similar for Salu Niang. I think his offensive role will be a little bit less compared to the other guys who will be more for the defensive juggernaut. While they picked up, really solid shooters like Abdi Bashir. He's fantastic as a shooter. He's proven himself in college already. I think that's a name that's going to pop. But the guy from Michigan State, Divine Ugachukwu, I think it is his last name. I think he's more of a backup, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And regarding Jan Madar, will he be eligible? Of course, for you guys, I hope he will, because of the military waiver. And the way it's been explained is that he will get 1 year. And 1 year is enough, right? So, and honestly, the NCAA have been given, crazier waivers until today. And it's a business. And LSU is not doing anything illegal at all. It's just, because of the boundaries of the NCAA becoming different every year, why should you not go swing for the fences and sign all these solid players? I don't see anything being wrong with it actually either, because it's a pro league. I think Division I basketball nowadays is a pro league. You either adjust or you stay irrelevant. And this program deserves to be relevant again.
Ersin Demir is our guest, talking about the international basketball players that Will Wade is bringing in. When you look at I don't know how much you know about the NCAA rules for international players. We've had a lot of conversation here about R.J. Lewis because he signed a two-way contract with the NBA, and he should, according to the black and white letter of the law, be ineligible. What about the other guys? Are any of those other guys eligibility risks?
For me, if I look at the James Nance case at Baylor, he was drafted. He never played in America. He played some summer league, but he wasn't officially on an NBA roster. Why shouldn't this guy be eligible? That's something that I don't understand. Because, he's drafted, but again, he's not really on the roster. With R.J. Lewis, it's different stories. It was on a two-way deal. He kind of he forgone his eligibility and went to the NBA. So I think that's a different conversation. I think he's the only name who doesn't get a waiver, if that makes sense. But for me, it's more so flipping it around. If guys, for example, go with a military waiver, 2-3 years, or the Diego Pavia case, he got an extra year. That was a very specific one. But again, all these examples and exemptions are being made. Why wouldn't this guy get here? I don't really understand.
You're talking about Jan Madar in that situation, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has a feasible case, if that makes sense,
Sure.
because these guys have no option then to go into the military. And if you look at all the rules combined, he should get 1 year, but it's 1 year only. But is he the best side addition to this team? That's something that I agree with, not agree with. But again, looking purely at the rules.
So you think Salud Niang is the best international player that they've added so
By
far?
far, man, by far. He's gonna all defensive team SEC, no doubt.
Okay.
This guy's gonna pop.
Is he the? You kind of alluded to that, the fact that Will's building a heavy front court team, offensive focused. Aside from Niang, is there any defense on this team?
For me, it is. If I have a look at Bryce Desser, the mobility really stands out with him. I think he's gonna really pop as a rim protector. And with Salou Niang's role versatility as a physical, power wing who can impact on the perimeter while being basically as an addition to the front court as well. And Marcio Santos, the guy from Maccabi Tel Aviv, he's a solid defender as well. If I look at this, the front court is not a problem. For me, it's more so who's going to create the plays for this team. And Madar doesn't really move the needle for me, although he's a lot older. But again, you can find similar players like that. He has had, when he was younger, he was more of the promising up-and-coming guards in Israel. But has he had a rich enough career that you can say, okay, this guy's going to lead my team to success? I don't agree with that. I don't think he's that type of player. Guard play will matter for this team, and the backup that they signed is a good one as a backup. But they really missed that guy at guard, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You probably just answered my next question. I was going to say, as you look at the roster as it's assembled right now, assuming everyone has their eligibility, what more does Will Wade need to add?
I think the guard is the only thing. Even if RJ Luis doesn't get the eligibility, you have enough options, left with the guys returning from the draft. I think Momcilovic, let's say you add him as well. Yeah, but how much do you really want to go for these high-end guys, if that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to compile a roster anyway. But with Will Wade, what I liked is last year, if you remember at NC State, he signed Paul Mbia from France, and then he eventually committed to Kansas. That was something that was like, I wish he went to NC State. It was a better fit for him. He was also more of that physical 5-man. And with Coach Wade, I think he's going to play from inside out, if that makes sense. That's why he has mobility in the front court, defensive role versatility. And guys like Rusic, those are more, just to have more options. I think he's more of a spacer. But the really skilled guys are from the interior, and to make it the collection, they need the best card possible. And if it's okay, I will want to plug one name.
Please, yeah.
And I don't know if this guy is going to go to college, but because he's in the draft cycle right now. Sergio De La Ria, a Spanish guard from Valencia.
Man, you need to
Let's
spell.
say he's
Ersin,
being
you
picked.
you need to spell that for us.
It's Sergio. And then De La Ria, Delarrrea.
Okay.
And he's playing for Valencia in Spain. And they're in the Final Four right now in the EuroLeague. EuroLeague is the top tier international league in Europe. And this guy's been on draft boards, for a couple of years. He came back to Valencia last year. Now he goes to the draft. But let's say this guy's picked in the second round. And the team that's picking him is like, okay, we just like James Nagy. He's not going to play for us this year. Yeah, he goes to college and signs for one team. He gets eligibility. That's the type of needle mover that you look for. More of that pass first, floor leading guards. And in today's portal, there's not a lot of guys left, man. So, and Coach Bay shows that he's being creative. And honestly, not because I'm here talking with you, but I don't really agree with all the sentiments of, we are ruining high school recruitment, etc., because Division 2 is still there. Division 3 is still there. Division 1 is a pro league, and you have to be older nowadays to really stick. And you have a group of guys, let's say 30, 40 names of top prospects. Those guys will always come out of high school. But Division 1 is not being taken for granted anymore, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And guys like Coach Wade, they just look for what's possible and they try to get the best possible guys, because everyone does. And if you don't do this, you're going to be left behind.
You can follow him on Twitter at Demir NBA, EDEMIR NBA. You want to give him a follow there. Got the link to his Substack as well. You want to subscribe and go get the draft analysis there. Great info on these LSU guys. One more thing. There's been a lot of dollar amounts thrown around, $5 million, $7 million, whatever it is. I don't know the financial implications of the EuroLeague or a lot of these international leagues. I also don't know, Ersin, if those numbers are valid. It seems like a giant salary pool that Will Wade would be working with at LSU. Do you have an opinion on the cash flow there with this roster?
Nah, not at all. Because, compared to the United States, in Europe, it's kind of, behind closed doors, if that makes sense. Because it's all about exposure. I think with college, everything is going to change. And to make a long story short, it's all about, these clubs are getting transfer fees, buyout fees for these contracts. So these clubs are okay with these guys going to college. They will collect the fee, and then they will make money with this guy going to college, and they will come back to Europe anyway, most of them. But the other side of the coin is that, a lot of young talent is leaving Europe right now. So that's a problem that European basketball is dealing with. But regarding the numbers, let's say, I'm just using arbitrary numbers here. I'm not, because these numbers are not public. And I think they are too high, which should be reported. But let's say Jan Madar gets $1 million. And he gets $2 million playing college. Yeah, that's a big premium that you're paying. And I think that's the only way, because these guys, they don't pay a lot of taxes, if that makes sense. If they sign gross salary of 1.5 million, they get maybe 20% taxes. The rest goes to their pockets. And in the United States, why should this guy come over, leave his family there, etc., etc.? So these schools are paying a premium, and they're paying these buyout fees. And what I think is it's a combination of the buyout fee that's being paid to this program, to this club, and the salary that this guy is getting in NIL. And to name one example, Mika Murinen from Arkansas, it's been reported that Arkansas is going to pay $400,000 for his buyout fee to his club, Partizan. And let's say this guy gets $2 million. He gets the $2 million, pays the buyout fee, $1.6 million being left in his pocket. So I think it's a combination of both.
Makes sense.
But the premium is being paid, that's for sure.
Ersin Demir, ERSINDEMIR, if you want to go follow him on Twitter, at EDemir NBA, at EDEMIR NBA. Give him a follow. Great insight, great stuff. Man, I can't thank you enough for some time and lending some insight today, man. I learned a lot about a roster full of guys I knew nothing about before they started committing.
Hey, you're more than welcome.
We appreciate the time. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Have a great night.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Same to you. It's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Let me knock out our final break of the show. When we come back, got to remind you about Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Jimmy's going to be here for Otter Locks in just a quick second. Remember, kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. They'll come in, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. It's easy, it's effective, it's cost-effective. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Jim Woodworth and the gang, they do awesome work. Easy to deal with, veteran-owned business. Jim's a career Air Force guy. It does awesome work. You'll love to deal with him over at Parish Restoration. Go to the website, fill out the form on the homepage, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Okay, thanks to Ersin Demir. Good, God, that was good content. I feel a lot better about all of this. Actually talk basketball with these guys coming in, not the yelling about the international guys. Really interesting perspective there. All right, quick break. Come back. We'll wrap up the show next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU together, we roar. You know, when it comes to Our Lady of the Lake, one of the things we talk about so often, access and convenience. Access and convenience. When it comes to healthcare, we all want access and convenience. And whether it's the Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, any of the satellite campuses, any of the other campuses as part of the FMOL health system, if it's the Lake Urgent Care, you have access and convenience at your fingertips. Look, I'm a part of the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group with Dr. Curtis Chastain. Last Monday, not having a weird little heart palpitation, called the office. They got me scheduled. I was in within an hour. Got to see Dr. Boudreau. Felt awesome leaving. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Every ounce of Raising Cane's lemonade has been hand-squeezed that day from fresh lemons before being served over our signature crushed ice. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
If you're looking for work, you need to call Big Jake over at River Parish Contractors. If you're not looking for work, maybe you should be. Because at River Parish Contractors, remember, there's so many reasons to go work for our friends at River Parish Contractors. Number one, overtime. A lot of businesses want you to work. They don't want you to work overtime. At River Parish Contractors, they got so much work, you can work as much overtime as you want. You want to work night shift when it's cooler? Awesome. You want to work day shift? You can do that too. Awesome benefits, 401k, health insurance, PTO, and you are home with your family for dinner every night. The shop is there in reserve. All their work is between Baton Rouge and Chalmette. River Parish Contractors. Interested? Call Big Jake. rpcontractors.com. Check them out online, rpcontractors.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, what up?
What's happening, Matthew?
4-0 night for the Ott Father. When you're hot, you're hot.
Knicks, never a doubt.
Rocking chair. Just waiting on that 22-point comeback with 7 minutes to play. I'll take it.
And look, we got lucky in the late one, too, because we were down in the ninth inning. But, it was going to be a tough luck loser because in the 7th and 8th, bases loaded, one out, both times hit into inning-ending double plays. But then we get over the hump in the ninth with the walk-off 2-run homer. So
I'm here for
very, very 3-run homer rather for
Let's
Arizona.
roll. We're a little
short.
short on time because I had a guest from Amsterdam talking about international basketball players. So fire away with tonight.
All right, we're going with Wemby and the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox's game-time decision again tonight, plus 7.5. It opened up 6.5. They're betting Oklahoma City, the bounce back, but I'll take Wemby over the bounce back, which is usually profitable. Give me the Spurs, plus 7.5. Going with the over again. They went over again last night. Washington and the Mets, highest scoring team in baseball, the second worst pitching staff in baseball. Give us the Nationals and the Mets, over 9.5. Atlanta, no score, minus 1.5 on the road at Miami.
1 minute
minus
remaining.
1.5, minus 108. It might be even money. And in late night at the Big A in Anaheim, I'm going to take the visiting A's minus the 125. Oakland on the money line.
You can get the A's right now. You can get Atlanta right now at plus $1.59 on the run line. Money line is $1.06. So, and the total on the Mets Nationals right now is 8.5 in game. So even better numbers right now if you want to go play.
Good.
All right, where are you tomorrow?
We're at the original Walk-Ons on Burbank, watching some conference tournament action all day long.
Awesome. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
Remember, you can get Otter Locks over at LouisianaSports.net, always for free, LouisianaSports.net. Great stuff on the show today. Appreciate y'all so much for hanging out with us. You missed anything, catch it on demand podcast or YouTube. Just search After Further Review. You'll see it there. Muse Pauly, thanks. Have a great night.
AFR.
Buying or selling, commercial or residential, think real estate, think Darren James. You want an unbelievable customer service experience, you want Darren James. It's part of his core values for Darren and his team. Darren tells me all the time, as long as I've known Darren, he said, my goal one day is to put myself out of business. I want to create such a turnkey, seamless, easy process for people to be able to buy and sell homes that they don't even need me anymore. Well, as Darren continues on that path in the meantime, he's going to help you sell your home. So if you need to sell your home, you want a realtor that quite literally sells more homes than anyone, you want Darren James. Last year, Wall Street Journal is listed the top 1% of realtors in America, Darren James. So need to sell your home fast for the most amount of money, you need Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.